Hey guys, it's Brittany Taylor coming to you live, and I am here on this planet to inject into every fiber of your being that you came for the joy of living. And what is the joy of living? Well, the joy of living is living your soul's purpose. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this live stream, you guys. And it's going to be super powerful and hopefully will resonate if you are on a similar wavelength as me, which if you're on this video, you probably are. So say hi when you pop on, my loves. So yeah, usually I don't do a post saying that I'm about to go live, but I did today. I said that I was going to go live and it was going to be life changing, and I posted that about a half an hour ago. And then after I did that, I was so much more, not nervous isn't the right word, but just wanting to make sure everything was right for this video, right? So, and I want to give an example of what that looks like as well. So say hi when you pop on, my loves. So sometimes when you're about to rise to a new level in your, soul's path and in your joy of living, you can start to have like a feeling of nervousness for this new level, you guys. And it can look like for me right now, when I was about to go live, it was like me like fucking with my lights a whole bunch, and then it was me like playing with my hair and moving around, and then almost like not wanting to go live anymore, because on some level, I knew that this was going to be a powerful transformation for me and also for the people watching this video. So sometimes you can get that feeling, like, when you're about to meet someone for the first time and you kind of get that nervous feeling because on a soul level, you know that this is going to transform your life, potentially, right? So that's kind of what that feeling is, if that makes sense, you guys. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Bruce. Hi, Lindsay. So, and also, I just want to inform you guys that I figured out on my last live stream, not my last one because it was only like 2 minutes long, but my last long live stream, that my live streams don't really get good, or I don't really feel like I'm really flowing with my words until about the 20-minute mark. So you better stick around to about the 20-minute mark, because that's when this is going to start to get really good. And the rest is just kind of like warm up, right? And I noticed this with so many people too. And actually, one of my favorite people on earth, Katrina Ruth, she says the same thing. It takes about like 25 minutes to get warmed up on a live stream where the super flow comes out, as she calls it. But I see a lot of people who just go on live streams and they just talk for like a few minutes, and they're not even allowing themselves to really get comfortable with it and allow the genius to start to pour out. So this is going to be a long video, you guys. And if you're in it for the long haul, I appreciate you. So yeah, you guys, soul purpose. Soul purpose. It's something that you know already. You already know what it is, okay? You may not consciously know what it is, because the conscious mind sometimes is filled with a lot of other things that are not soul. Things like fears, things like doubts, things like ancestral pain and trauma passed down through the genetics, things like what your parents believe about life, or what, collectively as a human consciousness, the mass consciousness of people believe. And all of these things can block you from feeling like you know your soul's purpose. But I'm here to tell you that you do know your soul's purpose, and it is from the way that you feel. Your feelings are always guiding you. Okay, so when you feel that little bit of joy, or you feel that sense of aliveness, that sense of exhilaration, that sense of life being exciting, that sense of being on track, that sense of totally being in the moment, all of these are clues to what your soul's purpose is. Okay, and it can be kind of tricky though, because it might seem that your soul's purpose is very simple. Like, you could be like, well, I feel the most joy when I'm just sitting reading a book. How could that be my soul's purpose? And I'm here to tell you that your soul's purpose would be, well, what are the contents of that book? Like, what how are you feeling when you're reading that book? What's inside the book that has you so enthralled? And that will lead you to your soul's purpose. Like for me, and this is something I really want to tell you guys is, you know, I don't know if you can see all of my books. That's only half of it. The rest are over there. So for me, I always had a lot of joy in buying books. And I didn't know that this was related to my soul's purpose. I wouldn't have even, when I started buying books, you know, when I was a little kid, I never would have thought that there was any relation in me buying those books and my soul purpose. I didn't even really have the concept of soul's purpose when I first started buying books, because I was like 6 years old and I would always ask my mom to buy me Mary-Kate and Ashley books. Do you guys remember Mary-Kate and Ashley? I was obsessed with Mary-Kate and Ashley. But I was always obsessed with reading and books and writing and stuff like that. But I didn't know anything about soul purpose or anything when I was a little kid. Although I did know that I had a soul, and I did know about past lives very early on, because I remembered them. And when I was like a 5-year-old kid, I felt super old as well. I felt like I was older than my parents. I felt like I was older than everybody who was taking care of me. Hi, Olivia. Thank you for the heart. I felt very old. If anything, I actually feel younger now. But I've grown and gained wisdom as well. But I felt very old as a child. And I also had memories of being in different bodies and doing different things. And it didn't really make sense to me. And I had lots of dreams of being in different lives and stuff. So I always knew that there was such a thing as past lives. And I always knew this. And so I always like sort of felt like there was a continuation of life after life. I always felt like there was some purpose. But I was also bombarded by, you know, fears. And I didn't sleep very well as a child. I was always like seeing spirits. And I was always sick as a child too. I would get infections a lot. So, but this all led me to what my purpose actually is. And you might see a similar theme in yourself. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Oriella. Olivia says, your hair? Yeah, my hair's like really long all of a sudden. It just suddenly grew. But you might see a similar correlation in your life where, you know, maybe you experienced a difficult childhood, or maybe you've experienced a difficult lifetime. And I just want you to know that everything that has happened in your life is divinely purposeful, you guys. And some of those things that were the most challenging things of your life were actually leading you to your purpose. Okay? So all of the pain, emotional pain, physical pain that I experienced as a child ultimately led me to pick up books about healing. Well, it started with astrology books. I would pick up astrology books and I figured out all this stuff, and then I just kept buying books and I kept buying books and I kept buying books, and here we are. Oriella says, love this title. It gave me chills. Yeah, I was getting major chills all day, and I knew that I was going to go live and talk about some super powerful shit. I didn't really know what it was. I changed the title on the live stream a few times thinking, well, what am I really going to talk about? But I just knew that it was going to be super powerful tonight, you guys. Hi, Silver. So what was I saying again? Yeah, so those things in your life that are the most difficult challenges, okay, will lead you to your purpose. Hi, Zach. So when you're going through a really difficult or challenging, or you could call it like testing experience in your life, this is really showing you all of your weak points, okay? And part of fulfilling your soul's purpose is abolishing everything from your energy field, from your mind, from your soul, that is unlike love and joy, okay? So sometimes when you have a huge purpose to fulfill on this earth, you will need to really have a look at what untruths you are holding in your mind and heal those, okay? So, hi, Amber. And I did a post a couple days ago, you guys, and I said, all error in your thinking, or no, not No, sorry, what the fuck? No, it was, okay, this is what it was, you guys. It was a really good quote. I feel like someone said it before me, but I don't remember who, so I just said it. I didn't quote anybody, but it was, all suffering is a result of an error in your thinking. Okay, so all of those things in your life that are challenging, and you could probably think of what those things are. You can probably count all of your issues really on one hand, like all of your serious issues. And some issues may cause other issues in your life, but it all boils down to about like maybe 5 things, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, that you really came here to master and heal. Okay. And for some people, it's relationship stuff. For some people, it's learning, you know, about safety or connection or unconditional love or forgiveness or whatever. But it's like we all have come with specific soul lessons to learn and master, and we've chosen those. Okay, so if you're in your victim-y mindset, you're gonna have to leave that at the door, because I firmly, truly believe that we have chosen our circumstances, especially the difficult circumstances, in order to grow as a soul. And if you can see it from your soul's perspective, you will see that everything that has happened that was difficult for you helped you grow so much as a soul. And the way that it helps you grow is when you transmute it, and when you find the lesson, and ultimately you find peace. Okay? And when you do this enough, and you do this with enough of the issues in your life, you eventually will become one of these spiritually solid, peaceful people. And you will have a clear understanding of what your soul's purpose is. And quite likely it could be something to do with even those issues, right? Like part of your soul's purpose might be, once you've mastered your own soul lessons, to help others who are going through the same similar soul lessons. Does that make sense? You guys, is that all landing? And I'm going to say that you do actually know what your soul purpose is. You do. You know it on a soul level, and you'll feel it and you'll know it. And there will be certain things that will happen maybe in your body, or like in your emotions when you are on track with it. For me, I feel like this sense of like almost gratitude tears, like where you're about to cry, and you just feel like, because if you were looking at like your baby when it just got born, like that's the kind of feeling that I feel when I know that I'm in alignment with my soul's purpose. Okay. Olivia says, totally. Amber says, your vibration is full of love. Oh, thanks, girl. I am full of love. That's not a lie. That is true. Hi, Jeff. So for me, it's the gratitude tears, but also sometimes when you're getting a glimpse of what your soul's purpose is, you'll get chills. And I'm usually really hot and sweaty. Like I'm generally more hot-blooded, but when I'm really on track with something, I do get chills, or I get cold. And actually, this whole afternoon, like for the past few hours, I've been cold. And so I have the heat up, I had the fire on. Now I'm like really hot. But I just knew that I was about to unload some incredible download for humanity. Lindsay says, your purpose is clearly healing and loving. My Reiki session with you was incredible. Yes. Oh, thanks, Lindsay. Yeah. And so the healing stuff really led me to my purpose, because in my first theta healing session, which was 4 years ago now, and then I became a theta healer right after that, it was the first time that I had ever experienced this feeling of like unconditional love from God, or from creator or source or universe or whatever you want to call it. But when I felt that unconditional love, it was like I just knew things. I just knew that that was part of my purpose, to give that to as many people as possible, because I knew that was ultimately the truth of who we are as souls. And I mean, you'll know when you know. When you are on track with your purpose, you will know, okay? Because you'll feel it, and you'll feel joy. But the hang up for a lot of people is, Erica says, just started following you and I love your stuff. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Erica. So the hang up for a lot of people is that they think it can't be so simple. Like, what? My purpose can't be joy. And I'm here to tell you, your purpose can be joy, okay? I think it's part of my purpose, the joy of living, yeah. But, like, it'll seem too easy. Like what I was saying about the books. I just kept buying self-help books. And I was working with my dad selling insurance. I still pop in there sometimes to help him out. But I was like doing this other job. Meanwhile, I was obsessed with self-help books and law of attraction and healing and doing all these healing courses, buying all these books. And I just did not see the connection between what I was excited about and purpose, because I thought it couldn't be that easy. I couldn't just do what I loved. And like, that's like, when you say that, like, you almost want to cry, because your soul is saying, yes, you fucking can. And you will. And so when you say, well, I can't just do that, it's too simple, that can't be my purpose, and a little part of you dies. It's your soul. You're killing your soul. I'm just kidding. You can't kill your soul. It won't die. Even if you repeatedly ignore it for your whole life, which a lot of people do. But it will never die. Don't worry. But every time you do that, every time you don't trust that little voice of joy, it's almost like it's your inner child even comes out to play when you are living your soul's purpose. It's what really makes you feel joyful and excited about life. But then you come in with your bullshit thoughts and programming from your parents or from society or from even your own damn self. And you come in and you say, well, it can't be that, or I can't do that. I don't have the money to do that, or I have to do this, or, you know, what would people think if I did that? Or, and you come in and you block soul. You block soul. And then you wonder why you feel shitty all the time. You wonder why your relationships suck. You're using alcohol and drugs more than you would like. And you're just feeling like a half-assed person. And you wonder why. Like, why do I feel so depressed all the time? Or why do I feel so, like, not even in my body? Like, why do I feel like a robot? But yet, whenever you get the call from soul, which is the exhilaration, the excitement, the joy, the chills, the gratitude, and you don't think that's enough to be your purpose. You think that's too easy, or nobody would want to buy that, or like what even is that? It's just a feeling. I can't tell what my purpose is. It's just a feeling. Let that feeling be enough. Okay? And as you honor that feeling and you continually follow that feeling and you do what feels good and you keep doing it, your purpose will become clear. And your purpose will become clear to you if you commit to joy and commit to doing what you love above anything else. And I'm not saying you suddenly have to, like, quit your job or, like, abandon all of your family who don't believe in spiritual principles, or, like, you don't have to do anything drastic, unless you feel called to. I mean, sometimes you will be required to make a huge leap where you have to do something major, but it can be gentle, right? But us as humans, we think it has to be like this, like, cut and dried, like, super, like, this is the way it is now. And sometimes it does. Sometimes it will call for that. But I don't want to scare you either, because it took me a long-ass time before I fully, like, knew with every fiber of my being what my purpose was. Like, it took a lot of back and forth and sitting on the fence and wondering and crying and suffering and pain. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. And that's partially why I'm on this earth. Eduardo says, following our hearts. Yeah, following your heart, for sure. Jeff says, do you rehearse these talks or straight off the cuff? No, I do not rehearse these talks. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Well, today I kind of knew that I was going to talk about soul purpose, but I had no idea, like, what exact I was going to say about soul purpose. And actually, I felt a little bit more nervous for this live stream than I usually do, because I just knew, like, that it was going to be really good and and really powerful. But it's funny how that happens. And sometimes you can be afraid of your own power too. Like, you could be afraid, and this was a fear for me, that I healed and released with theta healing about a year ago, before I started to actually like full on live my purpose. But one of my fears with following through with my purpose was like, well, I thought my dad wouldn't love me anymore, and these kind of beliefs can really hold us back. And you might think, well, that's crazy. I would never, think that me doing what I love would cause other people to not love me. But it could be like subconscious. It could be deeply embedded in your subconscious, and you can find it through theta healing or hypnotherapy, some of the methods that I use. But you could have these fears that if I'm really in my power, well, I won't need them anymore. Maybe you won't need some of these people that are in your life. Or maybe they'll look at me like who's she to be in her power and living her purpose and speaking her truth when I have never done that. And so you could have all kinds of fears. It could be to do with your husband or your boyfriend or something, or your wife or girlfriend, or even your children. Like, it could be so many things. But a lot of times we're more scared of losing people if we become who we really are. But I'm also here to tell you guys, that your authentic self is who they actually need in their lives. Okay? And by you not being your authentic self, by you hiding your light and not doing what you know you came here to do, it actually, it does a disservice to you, because you get sick and miserable and sad and feel like shit, but also to them, because part of your agreement probably to come into this particular group of people, this particular soul group, okay? So we all incarnate into soul groups, and you have many soulmates in these groups, some of them romantic, some of them family, some of them enemies, some of them friends, teachers, whatever. Part of the agreement, or part of like why you came to this planet, why you decided to be born, is so that you could live your soul purpose. And in doing so, your light would help all of these people. Your light would ripple out, and it would touch all of these people who you live with on a daily basis, or even people that you just walk by on the street. Your energy will go out, and it will affect all of these people and heal them. And by you not doing what you know you came here to do, you don't allow that to happen. And that's why it feels so bad when you're not in alignment with your soul's purpose, because your soul knows, like, hey, we got some shit to do here. But I also don't want you to feel like if you're not in alignment with your soul's purpose, that you're totally like fucking it up and ruining your life. I also don't want you to think there's like a time limit on it, like you need to do it right now, or else everybody's going to be mad at you, because that could be another fear too. Like, you fear that if you're not doing your soul purpose, that your soul is like, fuck you, Britney. Your soul is infinitely patient, okay? You could take lifetimes to do this shit, and your soul is fine with that. Or you can listen to this message and do it right now, but it's your choice. Amber says, yes, soul family, yeah. So we all have a soul family, and I mean, from a conscious level, I don't even really know what that means. But from a soul level, I do know. Hi, Oliver. And you do too. Okay? And this is the kind of stuff you can find out too when you're in hypnosis and you do a past life regression, or you do what's called a life between lives regression, which is something that I did over 2 years ago now, where I literally went into hypnosis, and I went to the between life state where I was choosing to come to this lifetime. And I found out why I decided to come and what I was learning, what I was going to be doing. And I was actually in hypnosis for like 5 hours, answering all these questions and talking with guides and talking with my soul and all this. And I found out a lot of stuff, some of which I chose to ignore for a little while because it was just too scary to accept. But the one thing that I'll tell you guys was, I think when I asked like what was my actual soul purpose, it was like, I have this special healing energy, and I meant to reach a lot of people with it. But at the time I was like, well, so like, what do I do then? Like, right? And so like, you could hear something like that and be like, well, how, why, what? Okay, cancel those questions out of your mind and just do what brings you joy and keep doing it, and it will become clear to you. Okay? But also, I don't want you to think like, this is something that I used to do too. Eduardo says 11:11 today. Yeah. And I actually do not usually care about numerology and numbers and like 11s and like people that go off on all this shit about like numbers and how it's important. And I'm usually just like, well, yeah, but I also think like, I mean, who cares? But today with this 11:11 thing, I did feel like I've been majorly in alignment. I started out this morning doing some journaling, and it was like I was channeling it, and I felt super powerful, like really good day. And so maybe there is some truth to this 11:11 shit. I mean, I am an astrologer, so I know there's meaning behind the numbers, but I try to not get caught up in like all this bullshit, and I just create my day the way that I want my day to be. But today has been an extremely powerful healing day. Lindsay says, yes, you could take a lifetime to realize your soul purpose, but how sad and what a waste. Yeah. But your soul doesn't see it like that, because your soul and God or a source or the universe, the sense of time is very different in these realms. So it's like everything is just happening now. So it doesn't actually matter if you completed your soul purpose like 10 lifetimes from now. It's all happening at once for your soul, like in your soul's eyes, if that makes sense. Time is different in the soul realm. I don't know. That's some next level spiritual shit. But I've read that on a lot of books that like souls do experience time differently than us. So like, even if it does seem to take a really long time, like, and I also want you to know if you're older, like, because, oh, this is another thing I want to go live about, you guys. Like, age is, okay? Or it's at least not a thing to your soul, and it doesn't matter. And stop using it as an excuse. And the reason why I say that is because I do it too, you guys. I'm 23 years old, and one of the biggest reasons why I didn't start doing any of the work that I came here to do for like a while, because I've been knowing this shit since I was like 18, it was because I felt I was too young. Okay? People won't listen to me. I'm too young. They'll think, oh, you've still got more learning to do there, like little one, or whatever. And sure, some people do act like that. But age doesn't mean shit to your souls, you guys. Like, and it's never too late either. Like, maybe you're just hearing this now and you're like 80 and you still don't feel like you've completed your soul's purpose. It doesn't matter. You can start now. Like, cut this crap about age, okay? You're as old as you feel you are. And you have a lot more power up here than you are allowing yourself to believe. It's only a number that we have created as humans. Hi, Mom. My mom's here. You guys should send a love heart shower to my mother. She is on this live stream. She birthed me. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here giving this talk. So you should send some hearts to my mother. Eduardo says, I'm 24. Lol, I thought you were older. No, I'm 23. Yeah, so that was going to be another live. I was going to say, age is not a thing. But it is also a message to myself, because that's one of the big excuses that I've used. It's like, oh, well, you're so young. You don't really have to do anything yet. You can just, you know, not do the soul work that you know you came to do, even though you know that you're supposed to do it anyway. So what's the hold up? Like, but I'm sure there's many people who are also older who are like, well, it's too late. And that is like killing to your soul. If you know, it's not too late, because you know, right? And if you know, you're not too young, so you know, right? Yeah. So what else do I want to say on this topic? There's so much to say, you guys. I don't know if you can hear, I have like some angel music going on in the background. It feels very magical. So it's never too late. It's never too early. What was I going to say? Jeff says, take a breath. You're turning blue, Britt. I don't believe that I am turning blue. I usually breathe. I go days without breathing, actually. So it's not really a big deal. When you are aligned with your soul power, you actually don't even need to breathe. It's a magical thing that happens. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's like when you are living your soul's purpose, you actually don't need to breathe. It's a real true fact. Just kidding. Lindsay says, no, you're not turning blue. Well, yeah. So what else is coming through for me to say right now? Well, I have just opened up space to work with me one-on-one in my intensive 3-month package, you guys. And this is for you if you are ready to reawaken the joy of living, connect with your soul's purpose, and then have someone to hold you accountable to actually do the actions that your soul is calling you to do. And we're going to go deep. We can have hypnotherapy sessions, baby healing sessions, astrology chart sessions, and just general coaching, and you get unlimited access to me. So message me if you think you would be a good fit for that. And also, I have a new program out, you guys. It's called Quit Your Negative Thinking Now. And this is for you if you are ready to let go of the bullshit, some of which I stated. Some of it being, you know, the old young or whatever other excuses that you have going on. We are going to abolish those thoughts so that you can allow more joy into your brain so that you can live your soul's purpose, your own joy of living. So 2 things going on, you guys. Message me if you want more info on that, if you want to learn more about working with me or this program, message me. It's very powerful stuff, and the one-on-one stuff is going to fill up fast, and I'm not going to be offering that much in-depth coaching for a while, so you're going to want to get on that. And yeah, so soul purpose. So I want you to think of your soul as light, okay? And you are this bright light, okay? And then you come into this physical body and you take on, some of which aren't yours, some of which are, certain emotional patterns and responses that cause you pain and suffering. And your intention for coming into this body is to heal all of the suffering and pain so that you can allow more of the light of your soul into your body. And then with more light from your soul, you have more soul power to manifest the life of your dreams, heal anything, do anything, be anything, feel powerful. And there's more and more people right now, I'm sure you're seeing them. There are people that are literally performing miracles on the earth at the time. There are people that are living their dream lives. There are people that are free from emotional baggage and drama that used to hold them back. And you can be one of those people. And that's why you're here. That's why you're watching this live stream. It's that your soul is calling you. You are so ready to live in more joy and more light and more positive feelings so that you can allow that light of your soul to shine brightly. And when you do this, your light attracts other people like a moth into the flame, okay? And your soulmate clients, if you're a coach or even if you work in any business where you have clients, will just be magnetized to you. They will want your energy. And this isn't just for clients, this is for romantic relationships as well. When you come into your soul power by releasing all that is unlike love and joy and allowing in more joy and positive feelings, you will become like this magnet to lovers that are for your highest good, friends, soulmate clients. And it's like your soul with your light is sending out a call and attracting to you all that you desire. Okay? And you don't even have to do a whole hell of a lot either for it to happen, but you do have to do what your soul is calling you to do. But it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be stressful. It doesn't have to be hard, deep, healing work, although it will be. But it'll be fun and joyful to release all those blocks, okay? And if anybody's telling you that it's like hard or it's a struggle or it has to take years and years of suffering and hardship in order to get where you want to be, that's their belief system. It does not have to be hard, okay? Humans like it to be hard, though. We do. We like things to be hard because we like that achievement of when something is really hard and then we conquer it. But I'm just saying, hi Eric, that it doesn't necessarily have to be hard or difficult. Okay, and you can make it up in your mind that, you know, from now on, at this point in my journey, it's going to flow and it's going to be easy. And I'm going to bring in more of the light of my soul and just create this world that is filled with miracles and joy and whatever else I desire. And you are a powerful creator, powerfully creating your life, you guys. And there is evidence of this everywhere, okay? You can look at anything that's in your life right now and you can see how at one point you thought of it and now you have it. Well, it's like that for everything, okay? And this is especially a message for you if you're one of those people that has huge dreams that some would deem are unrealistic or even impossible or even crazy. And I'm here to be your messenger and your guide to tell you that if you have those dreams, it's because you are meant to have that be a reality in your life. And the only thing that is stopping you from that dream that is maybe crazy or impossible or highly unlikely is you and what you decide in your brain. And it actually doesn't matter what anybody else says or does. That's actually irrelevant because you are ultimately the one who is in control of you, your mind, your energy field, and what you do on this earth. Okay? But it can be tricky to come out of that mindset of disbelief and doubt and to go into straight faith. And it could take some wavering, like back and forth between total faith, like, yeah, this is happening, and like, am I crazy? Like, how could this happen? Like, that's just way too out there. But eventually, as you keep sticking with it and you keep journaling it out and you keep, you know, asking your soul for guidance and you keep doing what brings you joy, eventually the doubts will get less and less. I don't know if they'll ever fully dissipate. I think it's part of the human experience to have some doubts about yourself, but they will become, you know, hard to believe almost. Like, you'll get those doubts in your mind and you'll think, well, like, that's impossible that my dreams would be real. Like, now I've got to this point in my life where it's like my big dreams, like I'm talking ones that I had when I was a child that everybody was like, wow, like there's no way you can have that or do that or be that. Even some of those dreams now are becoming like, well, duh. Like, obviously it's happening because I can see everything else that I've created in my life already and see how, oh, that was a thought that I turned into a thing. No, that was a thought that I turned into a thing. And even the negative things, I can see, oh, that was a thought that I turned into a thing. Oops. And if you really look, you will see that. And it's not so much the thoughts that are creating, but it's the feelings, okay? So if you can really embody the feeling of being that person. And let's do it right now. Let's do it right now as a group, okay? And for anybody watching the replay, do it right now. So just take a few deep breaths. And ask your soul to come in. Just say something like, soul, I want to be more aware of you. And I want to have more contact with you, soul, higher self, whatever you want to say. And ask this to be brought in to you. And then now feel what it would feel like if you were really living out your dream life. And everything in your life was as you would deem perfect or even better. Like, I'm talking miracles. I'm talking so much joy that it's overflowing. I'm talking about things that are too good to be true, okay? And put on that person. How would you feel? How would you look at things? And what would be going on if everything was exactly the way that you wanted it to be? And don't think that it's unrealistic. Don't think that, well, that's just crazy. No one can have a life that perfect. That's all things that people decided up here. And you can decide that you get to be one of those people that lives out your dream life. Because when you are fully living your soul's purpose, it is your dream life. And your light shines to everyone, everywhere, and everybody is magnetized to you. And when they see you and they see you living in your light, it activates something within them where it makes them think maybe they can have it too. And then this ripples out. Hi, Liam. This ripples out, and more people awaken to their soul's purpose on this planet. We will have a lot less fighting, a lot less everything negative. I mean, the news might go out of business. And this reality is not that far away, you guys. And there's more and more people on the planet now that are coming into wisdom and knowledge like what I have and like what you're hearing. And, you know, pain and suffering will cease to exist at some point, maybe in 100 years. I don't know, because there's so many tools for growth and changing our lives now that we do not have to live in those negative states forever. And more people can awaken to the fact that they create their reality and live their dream life, live their heaven on earth. It's not that far away. And, you know, if you're listening to this right now, you're probably one of the people that is helping all of humanity with this shift into less pain, less suffering, more joy, more alignment, more soul purpose, more knowing as a soul that you are unconditionally loved and worthy to live your dream life. Eduardo says Jupiter and Sagittarius. Yes, I do. Yes, I do have that. Yeah. And yes, we do have that right now. And I think it's a very positive time for all of us to understand and know deeply the truth that we are in creative control of our lives and our dreams are real and we are meant to have them. So is that all making sense, you guys? How does it feel when you put on that persona of someone who is living their perfect dream life? Does it feel real? And if it doesn't feel real, that's okay, because there's many methods to heal all that is blocking you from that, okay? And some of which I possess the knowledge of. Theta healing, hypnotherapy. But yeah, like I said earlier when I was talking about my dad and like the blocks that I had to heal in order to come into this clear knowing of what I was meant to do. I mean, I knew already, but I wasn't doing it out of fear. Jennifer says, you're very wise and a joy to listen to. Oh, thank you. So I did a course about a year ago now, and I did 2 courses actually for Theta healing. One was called Dig Deeper, and the other one was called Manifesting an Abundance. And in Manifesting an Abundance, we learned how to release everything that was blocking us from manifesting and having abundance, obviously. And this is a very powerful way to let go of things that are actually even maybe unconscious to you that are holding you back from having your dream life. So I do offer these theta healing sessions in my one-on-one coaching package, which is available open for enrollment right now, but not for long. Maybe just like a few days or this week. I haven't decided. But yeah, what else do I want to say? Does everybody feel that their dream life is in reach? I feel that if you're watching this video, you probably do. Because that was me. Like, I always knew that it was like possible. Like, it would be possible for me to live a really good life and be an inspiration for others. But like, how? When? Who am I to think that I get to have all these great things? And like, but eventually you can let go of all that's saying, no, that's not possible, and allow in the soul knowing that it is possible and it's meant for me. And that's what I'm here to help you guys. So that's probably all I wanted to say tonight. And what else? Yeah, that's probably it. So I just really want you to know that nothing is random in your life, okay? And all those challenges, even like the really hard, difficult stuff, and actually especially the really hard, difficult stuff, especially that stuff, is here to help you, okay? And it's all happening at the perfect right time. You're not screwing anything up. You're doing everything perfectly. And with this new knowledge at this moment, I'm sure you're a lot closer to living your soul purpose, which is living your joy of living and being this radiant source of light that other people look to and are magnetized to. Like, oh, holy shit, what's she on? I want some of that. Olivia says, I do. That's good. Leah says, my dad tells me to stop being so opinionated and that no one cares what I have to say. It's great. It is great. That is so great. I've definitely had similar situations with my own dad, but actually, Liam, this can happen. If you really fully come into your power, and I mean, who am I to say that you're not already there? But I promise you, though, this, if you really, truly believed that what you have to say matters and everybody cares what you have to say, and you really believe that on all levels, including the subconscious levels, your dad would cease to say that. Because I used to have the same sort of thing with my dad. Dads are very reflective of what's going on in our subconscious mind, you guys. And all people are reflections of what's going on in our subconscious mind. All people are like reflections. So I'm thinking on some level, perhaps really you don't feel like people care what you have to say. Okay? And that's why your dad is just reflecting this back to you, not to be an asshole, not to stop you, because obviously nothing will ever stop you, right? But just to show you, hey, maybe I still don't fully 100% believe that people care what I have to say. And because I had the same thing happen to me. I'm not like trying to like call you out or anything, but the same exact thing has happened to me with my dad and with other people as well. Like when people call me out, like when people say negative things to you, it's usually some part of you agrees with it, and that's why it like stinks. But if people say something negative to you and then but you really know it's not true, you're like, no, it's not true. But sometimes they actually will stop saying the negative things to you as well, and they'll totally turn around and become your biggest fan. And that's actually what's happened with my dad recently. He's shown me that he's actually a huge fan of what I'm doing and like is proud of me, and he's told me that multiple times. When before, when I was shaky and not really solid with my footing, it was a different story. So when you fully step into your power, other people in your life change the way that they respond to you. It's really magical and super powerful, and just open your mind to that, because it's a great opportunity for growth, personal growth on yourself when people are saying things that are hurting you. And it's a great opportunity to heal any leftover limiting beliefs that maybe you think you've healed, but you haven't fully believed in the new truth yet. You're still sort of like half-ass believing that people care what you have to say. But the other half of you is like, well, maybe they don't. And then that's what you're getting from people. But yeah, I did a post yesterday, you guys. And it was like, I wish more people would hurt me so that I could grow more. It was something like that. And I truly believe that, because it's such a great opportunity for growth. But I do feel that I'm mostly unhurtable. Like, it would be hard. I mean, I'm sure there's a few things that will probably happen now because I've set the call out to the universe. But like, you can become so strong in your self-belief and in your knowing of your soul purpose that anything anybody says to you or does to you would cease to affect you in a negative way. You would just be like, oh, yes, I'm going to still stay in joy and stay in my soul's purpose, because I know that's what's true. So Liam says, we square up, but I can see the good tension there. Well, that's good. That's what dads are for, to show us where we don't really believe in ourselves. I swear to God, it's true. But as soon as you like really are in your power, well, I don't know if it's just my dad. My dad totally switched the way that he acts towards me. But it could switch back if I stopped believing in myself and started acting like, you know, scared of doing my soul work again. It could switch back. But it's really interesting how people are always responding to the vibration that you're putting out. It's crazy. Like, and those same people can change their response to you once you change. It's really amazing stuff, you guys. I recommend trying it. And that's all I'm going to say tonight. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, message me to apply for this and to see if we're a good fit. And also, Quit Your Negative Thinking Now is happening. We're starting on Friday, you guys. This is for you if you're ready to abolish all of the thoughts that are blocking you from your joy of living and living your soul's purpose. Liam says, if I made more money, that he'd be happy. Yeah, exactly. So, so what it is just totally believing in yourself and your own ability to make that money. And then, your dad would totally like see the wisdom in what you're doing, but it's because you're still sort of not trusting yourself because the money's not there. And I've been there too. And sometimes we put way too much emphasis on money, like as if this is what I actually had a similar belief to that. Well, I don't know if you have this belief, but this is the belief that I had that I cleared in about February when I first started doing this work. I had this belief that if I had millions of dollars, people would listen to me. And because I don't, that's why they're not. And that was bullshit, because there's plenty of people who have millions of dollars who I can guarantee you do not feel like people listen to them. And it doesn't matter if you have $0 or millions of dollars. That feeling of not being listened to will carry through your entire life until you heal that feeling and bring in the feeling of, I know what it feels like to be listened to. And I know what it feels like to be respected. It's nothing to do with money. You could be a multi-millionaire, billionaire who feels not respected, not listened to. But quite often people think that once they have the money, it's going to magically heal everything. And it doesn't. And sometimes having too much money before you're ready to have it, before you've healed all of your emotional shit, can actually bring up more of your shit. If you, like, what am I trying to say here? Having a whole bunch of money, if you're a really insecure person, can actually like aggravate that insecurity to a whole nother level, because now you've got all this money. Like, you might think, oh, well, if I had millions of dollars, I would just be at the beach. Well, let's say you're one of these people that is very afraid of like rejection. So now you're at the beach and your girlfriend's just dumped you and you are a mess at the beach. You are like drunk, you're crying, everything is horrible. It doesn't matter that you're at the beach. The emotional pain is still there. So you can change that feeling before you have the money. And you can start to feel like you're respected now and feel like you're somebody that people want to listen to now. And then when you have millions of dollars, you can also feel like that. But the millions of dollars is not going to make the change. And there's plenty, like, look at all the miserable millionaires. They're out there. It's not the money. But obviously, if you're watching the video, you're going to have both. You're going to have the millions of dollars, but you are also going to have the emotional strength and stability as well. But don't think that one is going to magically heal all the others, because it doesn't. And like, it's so common for people, like, and I healed a lot of people in my healing sessions who are making, in my mind, a ton of money. Like, I'm talking like 50K months, like 20, quite well to me. And they feel that it's not enough. Like, they're like, why can't I just make 100K months? Like, why can't I just make like $2 million a month? And I'm like, shit, this is just what happens forever and ever until the end of time, unless you heal that feeling of not having enough. So you could feel like you don't have enough money right now when you have like $0. You can feel like, shit, that's not really enough. I can't really do a whole hell of a lot with that. But then you start to have millions of dollars and you're like, shit, I only have $30 million right now. What if this happened? What if that happened? Like, there's never enough. And it's because you never healed that feeling of not having enough. Does that make sense, you guys? Lindsay says, so true, spot on. I limited myself financially because I used to think I'd be a real asshole if I was stinking rich. Yeah, and a lot of people have the subconscious belief of rich people are assholes. Or rich people are cheaters and cheated people to get there. And so a lot of people will block themselves from financial abundance because they don't want to be that. When there's a ton of people who are stupid ass rich who have never been an asshole, never will be, or maybe, you know, some of them are assholes, or they haven't cheated anybody. So it's all what you believe about money. Money's actually neutral. It's just the meaning that people give to it. You know, it's not evil. It's definitely not evil. And I feel like, you know, that saying of money is the root of all evil is also another deeply embedded subconscious belief that a lot of people have that blocks them from making more money. Liam says, you're the best. I feel like I owe you money after this. Sorry for taking so much of your time. No, Liam, I can't see the rest of the comment. This is awesome because with you saying that, I'm sure there's plenty of other people that are watching this or that will watch this that needed to hear exactly what I was telling you. So everything is always perfect, right? We were meant to be here. We were meant to have this dialogue, and I'm glad we did. Yeah. Lindsay says, I also wanted to be loved for me and not my money. Lol. All this will from me. And that comes from low self-worth, like not thinking that you're enough without the money. So then when you have the money, obviously that's all people want from you. And a lot of people that have lots of money have that belief too, and it blocks them from having successful relationships. But what else was I going to say? Yeah, this money is the root of all evil thing, okay? That is the biggest bullshit lie ever, because we need money to live on this earth. Like, the way that this earth is currently set up, we need to have money to live. So how can something that helps us live be evil? It's like, it's the other thing that I think is bullshit too, is like, people think like sex is sinful or wrong, or having sex is like, it's bad, or like the religion like shames us for having sex. I feel like that's the same type of shame as the money shame. It's like, oh, something that we need to live and repopulate the earth is bad. And it's just another way that humans shame humans, because we're so filled with guilt and shame that we need to shame ourselves for the two most basic needs and urges on the planet. It just baffles me. That's a whole nother live stream in itself. But Eduardo says, money doesn't attract happiness. Happiness attracts money. Yeah, but actually, I want to say something, though, really quick before I go off here. This is something that I learned in a program with Katrina Ruth. It was her money program, Calling in the Green. So she really taught the real deal on money in this program. You should totally take the course. It's called Calling in the Green. But she said that money is a decision. Okay? Money is deciding you get to have money. And it's not to do with emotions. And if you could separate your emotions from money and just decide, I get to make money no matter what. It doesn't matter if I feel low self-worth or if I feel unhappy. Because think about it, there's plenty of unhappy rich people. Or there's plenty of millionaires who have no self-worth. It's nothing to do with that. Money is a decision. It's deciding I get to be the person that has money. And then, because sometimes you're not going to be in a good mood, or you're not going to feel like you have high self-esteem, but you're still going to need money. So she says that you really just need to leave emotion out of the equation and just decide money. And always says money is a decision. So it's nothing to do with self-worth, okay? It's nothing to do with, well, I do believe that when you're in alignment with your soul's purpose and you're living a life of joy, you naturally do attract money a lot easier and quicker. But I don't want you guys to feel like if you're still kind of unhappy, or if you're still kind of feeling like low self-worth or like hating yourself, that money just has to wait until you feel better. It's not actually like that. Money's totally separate. Money's a neutral resource. You can have money even when you feel unhappy or no self-worth. It's not connected. Money's a decision. But that is all straight from Katrina Ruth, you guys. She's amazing. Her program, Calling in the Green, I did it in the summertime. It was very life-changing. So I just wanted to say that, and that's all I'm going to say, you guys. I'm going to pop off here. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you all, and if you're watching this on the replay, let me know what you think, and give me some hearts and likes and shares, and we'll talk super soon, you guys. And remember, you came for the joy of living. Bye.